Hi, I'm Angie and I want to show you how you can make chocolate at home without any fancy equipment. And this is already the second video, so if you haven't watched the first video about roasting, just go ahead and watch it first. We're talking about cracking and winnowing today. This is a cacao bean, and what we want is inside of the bean. What we have to do is first we have to crack it. There are a couple of different methods how you can do it at home. You can either crack it with your hand, and then you have nibs and the cacao husk. I actually cracked by hand for quite a long time. It took me about, I would say 1 to 2 hours for 2 pounds. So it's not the most efficient way to crack beans. I want to show you how you can crack the beans a little bit more efficient than with your hands. A way more effective method is if we crack the beans with a rolling pin or a hammer. So we basically smash the beans with our rolling pin or hammer. If you use a hammer, it's possible that you're smashing the beans too much and your nibs are getting so small that you will lose a lot of it in the next step. So I would recommend using a rolling pin. Those are the beans that we roasted yesterday. We let them cool down and now they're ready to get cracked. I would put roughly half of it into a ziplock bag. One more. Okay. Let's get them in. Get all the air out. And then I'm just spreading them out. And now you just roll over the beans. So pretty good if you have a little bit of anger or a lot of anger. Let's take a look how good it is. I will just crack open a couple of beans that are not smashed and just crack them open by hand because usually there are not a lot of uncracked beans inside. And if you find some that you can't crack open with your hands in the first place, I would just put them into your second batch and then crack them again. Some are really hard to get open, to crack open. Here we have cracked beans. Almost all of them are cracked. You have the cacao husk and the cacao nib, and in the next step we have to separate both of it. Next step is we have to get rid of the husk, which is called winnowing, the separation of husk and cacao nib. And for winnowing, we want to go outside because this is going to be very, very messy. In case you don't have a garden, a yard, or a friend with a garden, you can also do it inside. But just a heads up, this is going to be very, very messy. Let's go. What we need for the next step is the bowl of your cracked cacao, and it's an empty bowl, a hairdryer, and safety glasses. You can also use just regular sunglasses. That should work as well. And I would recommend using them because what we're going to do, we use the hairdryer and just blow into our bowl. Because the cacao nibs are heavier than the cacao husk will just, basically fly away. This is creating a huge mess, but don't worry about the husk in your yard or in your garden. Husks are great fertilizers, so they can stay where they are. Let's do it. That's our result from winnowing. It's looking pretty good. We do have some husk here and there, but I'm not concerned about it. That's how we crack and winnow beans if you want to make chocolate at home. And just a quick reminder, we're not making smooth chocolate, we're making a more like rough and coarse chocolate. When I started making chocolate at home, I started with cracking the beans by hand. Then I moved on to smashing beans with a rolling pin or hammer. And I was always blowing away the cacao husk with a hairdryer. It's quick, it's fast, and very messy, so that always worked great for me. Next week we will grind our cacao nibs. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram.